Okay, so here's the video about my body modifications. I hope remember to say everything that I meant to say. So I'm going to talk about everything, I guess. Whichever part of this seems to help, use that. I don't know. I tend to ramble, so I'll try not to make it too lengthy, but in things that may help us answer some questions, perhaps, I thought I'd include myself. So, I guess I could start out with saying, like, what modifications I have generally, and then I could go into them, like, specifically. So, yeah. I don't have every kind of modification there is, because there's a lot. But, I mean, I have tattoos, I have piercings, and I have stretched earlobes. Yeah, those are the three genres that I have, the types, I suppose. And I'll go through each one separately and just talk about like why I got them and things like that. Why did I decide to become modified in the first place? I guess is because like I never was one to follow the crowd. I know everybody says that and it sounds really stupid, but it's true. And I guess like I just never really felt like I went through a phase where I tried to belong with other people and that sucked really hardcore. So I decided to like not go that route since I didn't even think this stuff was cool that they were doing and wearing and whatnot. I just did it because everyone else did and I thought that that was supposed to be like the norm. And then I think it was actually off of like in middle school or even lower school. I think it was middle school, like sixth grade. My computer's doing something weird. I saw a poster because I went to like private Catholic school and it wasn't my class, but some other class had to make posters about the Ten Commandments and they had to like find pictures of like ways that each one could be violated. I guess like in magazines, it was like a collage type activity. I'm rambling. The point is, I saw on one of these posters, I don't remember which commandment it was against because thinking back, I don't even understand how it's against a commandment, but whatever. Somebody included a picture of the band Good Charlotte on there, as like a sinful bad thing, which everybody thought that was the lamest band ever. Whatever, I'm not going into that, but I just liked the way that they looked. And so then from then on, all of my like teenage year crushes were modified and things like that. And I saw that there was a different way you could look. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. And as a kid, I remember going to Whole Foods and stuff. And like, if you think they're modified there now, back when I used to go there as a kid, like it seemed even more radical. Maybe it was just because I was younger and I didn't get it, but whatever. And I thought, dang, like these people look so different than anyone who I know. Is this like is Whole Foods the only place where these people exist? Is it like a secret haven or whatever? But yeah, I thought that was really cool and awesome. And it's a funny story because I used to be kind of scared of the subculture because I would go to the mall and I'd sit at the food court and I'd look over at Hot Topic and just I was like, that's where you go to hell. That's it right there because it had that metal gate and everything and I was really scared of it. And then I knew like some people that went there. I was like, oh, those people go to Hot Topic. Ooh, like, whatever. And then there was a period of time that I shopped there all the time. It's already at 4 minutes. I haven't even spoken about any of my mods, so let's get to that. But yeah, I really just liked the look, to be honest, and I don't like to stereotype anybody because I know a lot of people who have mods who are really dumb. I know a lot who are pretentious. And I know a lot who are also intelligent and you can carry a nice conversation with. So I don't like to like pinpoint it that way. But I tend to have more in common with modified people, at least like superficially. It's not superficially, see, because like I feel like philosophically as well, but this is getting super deep. So I just feel like I want to be a part of that community versus mainstream culture. So there. Perhaps I'll go back into that as I'm speaking here. And I'll begin by saying that I always loved mods, and back when I was too young to get any of my own, or I wasn't particularly certain that I wanted them because these, like a lot of this stuff is kind of permanent, minus piercings, which you can take out. I was at some store around Halloween and I bought these tattoo sleeves, which like I think it'd actually be pretty rad if someone had this. Like that'd be a pretty sweet design, and you can put them on. This is kind of funny because I have tattoos now, but you can like put them on, and it looks pretty. Like mine is the seam and shit. I would wear these out like, you know, in a costume or something. And I thought it was like the coolest thing. Check that out. I look hardcore. And I loved this. I just thought it was the sweetest thing ever. And I always have to wear like bracelets here so you couldn't see where it cut off. But those are pretty rad. And for a while I wanted birds like this as well. I mean, I don't know. I just really like that look. But yeah, it's a very particular type of look. Like there's no going back from this to even me as being modified. It's not that intense. So here's these available for like $3.99 probably around Halloween if you're not sure you want mods. And then as far as like ear stretching and stuff, for a long time, I don't like to take out earrings when I sleep, minus dangly shit like this, but I found like fake. I found fake plugs. That's what you call things that you put inside stretched ears, or these are tunnels since you can see through them. They're not gauges. I'm not going to go into that right now. It's a thing that doesn't bother me as much as it does some people in the community. Some people will get really up your ass about that, so don't call them gauges just to avoid other people's wrath. I don't really care. I know what you're talking about, but there's fake ones where it's like the middle portion is smaller, like a regular earring, and then you can just like screw the backs on so they're flat in the back and the front. And I liked those because when I slept on them, it didn't stab me in the side of the head while I was sleeping. So initially, that was my entire reason for getting these, at least the fake ones. And I said, you know, everyone called me, they didn't call me a poser, but I just felt that way. I was like, I'm never going to wear normal earrings anyway, and I go for the entire androgynous look a lot of the time, so I'm not going to wear, like, girly stuff, and so I just decided to go ahead and get them. There's other fake ones, like, when you first start stretching, there's, like, spirals and stuff. I bought these for somebody who doesn't want to stretch their ears, and see the middle portion is just normal, so then you put them in. Looks kind of cool, but these can go like all the way through my ears now, so there's no point in wearing that. So I guess I could start with the lobes since I'm already there. Yeah. It takes an incredibly long time to stretch your ears. That's why there's like certain kids back in the MySpace days, they would post 2 pictures within the same week and be like, hey, got my hair cut. And they had like really huge lobes in picture 2, and you're like, that's fake. Because it's physically impossible to stretch your ears that fast. Doesn't matter how big you get them pierced because then you gotta, yeah. So, I want to say it took me about 1.5 years to get here. It's a bit fast. You're supposed to wait at least 1.5 months or a month between each stretch, but I didn't on the smaller sizes. And I thought I'd show you, I have these organized. Yeah, ignore the case. This is like a anime case. I'm a nerd. But I have these all neatly organized. See here, like, okay, let me tilt my camera a bit. Sorry, bye. Here, there you go. And there's the progression of my stretching ear jewelry. These are the first ones that I bought. I'm not going to go into this exactly because it's irrelevant. The process is irrelevant, but these are my first ones. These are 14s, and they're horrible. And then I went up to, like, spirals and stuff, and then I went up to, like, thicker spirals. And then eventually you'd get into, like, stuff like this. I'm just, like, screwing everything up over here. These kind, which you can, like, kind of see through, but they're small. And then I'd get to these, which are a little bit bigger. And then these. So basically they just get bigger every time. And that's the jewelry that you'd wear. However, like to stretch the ears, I'm all over the place right now. You can do it as several methods, but I use tapers. Not the safest, but these. And like, you know, this one's thinner, obviously, than this one. This is a bigger size. So yeah, that's my ear stretching journey. I like the way they look. At a certain size, I dislike it because I think it looks a bit large and excessive. But that's up to everyone's taste. I'm currently just trying to keep them healthy. So I may or may not go up another size. My ears are kind of small, so we'll see. But it's either going to be this size or the size up from it. If I can make it there safely, because like eventually when you start stretching and you have small ears, the blood flow is like reduced, so you have to massage them and stuff like that. So, but I'm pretty happy with this size. This is a 9/16 of an inch, so, you know. And then I have, like, you can see straight through that. You can, like, fit fingers through there and things. But yeah, doesn't matter. That's beyond the point. That's my stretched lobe story. Everybody does it for a different reason. Unfortunately, a lot of people do it just because they, like, think it's cool when they're 14. And once you get past a certain size, they don't really shrink back. Mine might, but they'll never shrink back to normal. You have to get them surgically fixed for about $1,000, like 700 to 900. I don't know. Depends, I guess. But it's a costly procedure, so I'd rather not do that. However, if you're like thinking about ear stretching, everything costs money, and like you think about it, you're not really gonna go back to a size unless you decide to downsize. So every piece of jewelry I have in that box is pretty much useless, and I've spent like oh gosh, it's well over $100, $200 on that, and I'll never use it again because it's the wrong size, and this is the only one I can currently wear, so, of everything that I own. But it is fun, like, sticking stuff through your ears. Like, I got some snakes over here. I don't know, this is, like, completely useless. There's no reason to do this, but, alright, I'm gonna take that out because it's probably distracting. I can stick, like, shit through my ears, like, pencils and pens, and it freaks my mom out so hardcore. She hates stretched ears. Anyway, but if you don't want to stretch them and you want cool jewelry, just opt for things like this. These are wood, they're super light. I just don't like this kind because you can't really sleep in them. They kind of stab you. Alright, so I discussed my lobes. And then, like, I have other ear piercings. I have, like, 3 in here. And then I have a cartilage, which I did myself. I never recommend that. And I have a chain. I've never seen people with these other than when they buy them. But I actually have my cartilage pierced. It's not like a cuff that goes there. But, yeah. People always wonder, like, does that hurt? I mean, no. I guess if you snag it super hardcore, it could, but it's not that bad. I've never had it snag on anything. I have short hair, so it doesn't really matter too much. Those are my ear piercings. I got the bottom 2 done professionally. Everything else I did myself. So I don't recommend that ever. Don't do it. I'm cheap. So, and I wasn't gonna get permission to do that, so I did it myself. That's the thing about mods, is I feel like permission of parents is a big thing. And I guess my mom's alright with it. My dad doesn't really care, but if my mom doesn't agree, then, like, you know, sucks. Anyway, then there's other, like, ear jewelry that I have this snake for my friend. It's a snake. Yeah. And you can, like, put it, I'm not gonna attempt to do this right now. I say as I attempt to do it. You put it around your ear like that. And then this portion, like, goes into an ear piercing. So I could put it through there, through here, whatever. But these are options that if you don't wish to do anything special with your ears, you can put them through a regular ear piercing, which is still a mod. So, A+. I'll go into my others, I guess. I have my nose, and I have, this is the nostril, because there's different kinds of nose piercings. And then I have my lip. And that's literally all the piercings that I have. Something about me is I really do wish to do it to kind of, it's a bit of a juxtaposition, I don't know the right word. At the same time, I wish to be an individual and express myself, because this is how I envision myself versus, like, another style, I guess. And although a lot of people do have similar piercings, like, my collection and, like, the ones that I have particularly is, like, my own, what's the word that I'm looking for? My own combination. So, I do also wish to be a part of that kind of community of body modification people, although some people are into it a lot more than I am. I'd say I'm vaguely into it. I'm very small, and as in I don't really like, I just have mods and stuff. And yeah, something about my mods is that they're all visible. Like, I mean, with like summer clothing, because my tattoos are all on my arms. People assume looking at my arm tattoos that I have more tattoos elsewhere. I don't. I personally don't believe in hiding your mods for jobs. I might change my mind on that. However, I don't really think so. I chose my field of work because I want it to be mod friendly, and because those are the kind of people I feel comfortable around. If you're not mod friendly, I don't really have anything in common in the sense of aesthetics, I suppose. So I'd rather just not have to deal with that. And therefore, when people say, I'm getting them on my back or wherever you're getting them so I can hide them for a job, I'm not annoyed, but I am. It's like, dude, if you're gonna get mods, get them. Don't be ashamed of your mods. Don't be ashamed of what people think. Like, look at where we are in the world. It depends on your line of work, but if you choose a line of work in which mods are not acceptable, then you've chosen that line of work over the modified world, and therefore that's your choice, and that's fine. But if you want to be a hardcore person, be like, yeah, I'm into mods, they're all on my back, you'll never see them. Like, that personally bothers me. So I made it a deal with myself that I'd get all my mods where I can see them. Also because I'm sort of vain, and I like it when I can see my mods and when other people can see them. Do you know how frustrating that must be? Like, to have a mod, like, I don't even, like, here, never be able to see that except in a mirror. You can't be in class and be like, oh, look at my tattoo. Just kidding, it's on my back. Like, that's frustrating to me. So all of mine are visible, including my piercings. I don't have weirdly placed piercings that you can't see. Though you can all see them on my face. So, yeah. The reason I got this particular set of piercings, they're just things I liked at the time. And they're like not at the time as in I don't like them now, as in I don't want other ones. And I didn't ever want other ones, and I won't be wanting other ones because these are the ones that I wanted. And these are the ones that I got. So I do kind of like to try to balance my face. So, you know, I think this is not overwhelming. I don't want to be one of those people with like 15 face piercings. Be like, hey, let me talk to you. Just kidding, because you're staring at my piercings. It's fine if you want to do that. That's cool. It works on some people. I don't think it would work on me, because I try to be like balanced in the middle and everything. I like to be adaptable, as they say, whatever that means. I can adapt to a bunch of different styles, so. And I like my piercings to work with whatever. I'm a person who goes in between styles, so I'm not always going to be like hardcore rocker style. I could totally be something else one day, and I just want my mods to work with me and not against me, so that's a thing, I guess. And as far as my piercings, they don't really have like meaning. Do people's piercings have meaning? Maybe they do. I don't know. Mine don't. My tattoos have meaning though. Ha! I have 3 to 4 tattoos depending on how you count them. I counted them as like when I got them, and like whether I got them separately or at the same time, you know, because some people do a tattoo in a few sittings. I've never done that, but none of my tattoos are that big, so no worries there. People may or may not assume that my wrist tattoo, which is not going to come out well in this webcam, says believe. It's upside down and wrong side up, but anyway, it says believe if you look at it the correct way. That was my first, but it wasn't. My first one was this bird here. I'm like, the sparrow was my first one. It was when I graduated from high school, which I went to like private school, and the dress code was super strict and everything, and I just basically didn't enjoy any of that. So the bird symbolizes freedom, and it like that. I still talk about my high school, like even now I'm graduating from college, but it was such a significant like portion of my life where it was just it was frustrating to me as a person who wished to become modified because I couldn't ever really be who I was. So I just wear a lot of black. I mean, I'm wearing black now, but I just wore like chains and I try to find all these loopholes just to be like look as much that style as I could without being modified. And now that I am modified, I can wear a white shirt and jeans. I don't care because it's still awesome. It's fine. I can express who I am through my mods. And it sounds really crazy, but this is the thing I always tell my parents. I'm like, well, here's the thing, like, I can dress any style, but even when I'm not wearing anything at all, I'm still modded, so it is an expression of who I am, and it's become a part of me. And that's like a main portion of why I get modified. People say they don't want tattoos because they're permanent and they can make up their mind, which is fine. I want them because they're permanent. That's the entire reason that I want them, is I want them to be there forever. These are things that are very significant to me, and I've never regretted a tattoo. And I don't foresee myself as regretting them. I don't ever get tattoos for people I date. That's really stupid. Or even people you marry, because it's a transitory experience. But these are events that are historical in my life and have changed who I am in different ways. But they're so significant that they'll never become like things I don't want. I'll always remember them whether or not I have the tattoo or not. And then, like, I got these for 3 of my family members, and I got a rose because I've always liked roses and things. It's really hard to show this on camera, and then I have Believe on there. But the point is, like, each one of those is really significant to my life, and it will be forever. I guess the Believe one is like, I leave it open to interpretation of whoever sees it, but it's not a religious thing. In fact, it's kind of a not religious thing. And not religious thing. Intelligent. It's not an anti-religious thing. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I went through a period of time which I didn't believe in myself at all because I was told what I was doing I should feel guilty for and I should feel ashamed of because I was different, because I believed different things from people, and I don't believe that anymore. I believe in believing in yourself. That was a lot of words. Never mind. And I still have an issue believing in myself sometimes, and it just is there as a reminder of that, to believe in yourself. I thought about adding in yourself, but then it's stupid. I don't feel like I should add anything to it because when people read Believe in Yourself, then they're going to think like that it's a message for other people, and I don't want it to be. It's a message for myself. And when if it said Believe in Me, then I'd read it and be like, oh yeah, believe in me, like woo. But then other people would read it and it'd be like, basically it's a tattoo for myself, not for other people. So Believe is ambiguous enough that I don't really need to go around telling other people my beliefs, but I believe in myself, and that's my religion. So feeling guilty for being who you are or believing things that you believe in is really stupid, in my opinion, and you should work on yourself and become happy through self-transformation in your own life. So that was really deep. That's probably the deepest meaning of a tattoo I have. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much my mods. This video is like 25 minutes minus a few. I don't really know what else to say besides I do feel a part of the modified culture because I know a lot of people who get piercings and stuff, but I don't like to be presumptuous, but I just feel like they did it at spur of the moment, and then they take them out. And I never understand people who have, like, they just get piercings all the time, and they take them out all the time, they get them redone all the time. Have you made up your mind with what you want? Because I've had my lip pierced for, like, 4 years now. I don't plan on taking that out. I mean, if I'm getting an x-ray, I'll take it out briefly, which is a pain in the butt. But, yeah. I got my nose because I liked it. I didn't get like a tiny little jewel in it. I got a pretty big one considering what some people get, but just because I like it. And I don't feel like I need to change my mods all the time. Like, oh, well then I got my bridge, but then I took out my lip because it didn't look good together. And then I got my septum, but I can't wear that at the same time. It's like, stop. Reevaluate your life, because that is like, stop. Anyway, but like I said, it's a lot of people who are modified are really down to earth and super cool. A lot of them are complete idiots. Like, I don't know. It's not whether or not you're modified that makes you different or special or whatever. But it does make you part of the modified world, and therefore, in a way, I guess you can claim to be something that not everybody's a part of. And we all say that we don't feel like we need to belong anywhere, but it's human nature to want to belong to some kind of group. So that's really what I think where modified people come in, is you want to be an individual because everyone's mods are different. Like, yes, we all have tattoos and piercings and stretched lobes, but my tattoos are never going to be the exact same as someone else's, and my combination of piercings and mods is never going to be the same as someone else's. So in that way, we're all individuals, but we're all part of a community of those who wish to be different. If that makes any sense, because we feel akin with others like us. Ooh. Alright, I think this video is far too long. Should I make another one? Is there any kind of question that I'm missing here? I mean, I could talk about, like, mods and gender, but that would take another 15 minutes. Do we really want to hear about that? I mean, yeah, probably not. But if anyone does, I can talk to them about that separately. Because I'm not making a 45-minute video here, people. This is brief. This is brief for me. I make these videos all the time. I mean, not all the time, but sometimes. And yeah, I guess that is my story of body modification, motivation, and what I have. I enjoy speaking with my hands. Okay, I'm gonna go because my computer's like almost gone to sleep 4 times during making this video, so I'm gonna get going. It's Easter break, but I was like, let's do homework because I like body modification. Like, you know? Or is anyone else like that? You're like, oh, let's not do homework, but I really want to do this assignment because it's so cool. Like, come on now. No, that's just me. Okay. Well, there you have it, folks. If you have any questions, you can ask me because I'm here. I'm in your group. Ah, yay. I wouldn't say I'm heavily modified. I'm getting another tattoo when I graduate. Ah, yeah. I'm getting an eye. It's going to be an eye right here. And an eye symbolizes intelligence, and I feel like that, this is going to sound really weird. I don't even know what the word trite means, like, exactly, but it just sounds really pretentious. When I went to St. Edward's, like, when I first went there, their slogan was "Learn to Think." And they changed it now because they're expanding into the global initiative, which is cool and fine and everything, but I think that while I've been at St. Edward's, I have learned to think. And, like, you know, just my logic and intelligence and the way that I view the world has increased, and I place a high value on intelligence in my life. And I feel like that would be a good way to commemorate this portion of my life, which has been significant. And perhaps one of the most enjoyable times in my life so far, because all of my other schooling has not been that enjoyable, or at least the people around me. And this time I feel like there's actually differing points of view on this campus, which is really nice, because in my high school that was not the case. Yeah, and it sucks when everybody thinks differently than you and just feel like a freak all the time, but now I don't, so it's fine. Yeah. A+. I'm gonna go now. I have rings on too. It's really hard to find rings in my size. I wear like a size 4 to 5. And I found this eye. It's a mood ring, but it's an eye. And it changes color, so it's been that color for a while. I don't even know what color. What is this color? Somebody answer me that question. This is, what the hell? That's what that is. Yeah. I like to wear a lot of different kinds of jewelry because people always assume, like, when you're modified, you're either not religious or you're like evil or you're satanic in some way. I'm not going to go into what any of that means because that's another video in itself, but I just like to juxtapose every kind of jewelry there is to just completely screw with people's heads because that's what I do. Like, here's a sideways cross, like, sweet, right there. Then you've got a up, right side up cross, and then you have a Baphomet. Like, have fun trying to figure out what I am based on my jewelry. Don't judge me for what I look like. Don't judge me on my beliefs if you're willing to go there. I just successfully made that video another 5 minutes. Let's not ramble. Goodbye. Goodbye. Have a great Easter or whatever.